So what I think is a secret to music production is how you can basically use audio to get tons of different keyboard and synthesizer sounds. You don't always have to buy the latest and the greatest VST or synthesizer just to get the presets to get new sounds to play with. Audio that you have in your hard drive or the sample packs that you already have are basically source material to create completely new sounds. And we use it through granular synthesis. So what I'm doing here is I'm showing you an example of using synth one-shots. This is taken from my own pack Night Flights. You'll see synthesizer one-shots in sample packs. A lot of people don't know how to use them. You just go and trigger them through Simpler in Ableton or the sampler module in FL Studio, turn on the ADSR, and just trigger it on your keyboard. So what we have right here, this is one of them. Right, so that's just one synthesizer hit, usually on C or a different note. And a lot of people don't know what to do with them. You just drag and drop them into your sampler and play it on your keyboard, and you get this totally usable sound. So there I'm just playing my keyboard below the desk. That's it. So that's really a lot of fun. Some people don't even know that you can do this with one-shots on synthesizer sounds. That's what they're for. The next step is using granular synthesis, which is going to give you a different sound. So this is Granulator 2. This is totally for free. This is in the Max for Live Ableton Suite library. It's super easy to use. You drag and drop that same file in, and it's going to give you this kind of sound. So again, I'm just playing it on my keyboard like I would through Simpler, but these modules here are changing the sound into something like a glitchier Fairlight classic sound. And it's just breaking up that audio sample in different interesting ways to create really unique timbres and textures. So here you can see the grain, file position, spray, which is the amount of re-triggers, and then the scan time. I just play around with these and it changes the timbre of the sound very easily. Another secret to this is creating bit crush style effects, or really cool glitchy computer keyboard digital style things. And it's actually in this button right here. So if I hit this, now I have a whole other section of stuff. I've got filters, I've got LFOs, I've got an FM synthesis module. I turn this on, turn the frequency and the FM amount up. Anytime it's past 2000 hertz, that's usually a spot where the FM synthesis is going to create more upper frequency harmonics and not mess with the pitch. Otherwise, FM synthesis can sound kind of weird and metallic, experimental, which you might want. But to keep the notes solid so it's still a keyboard sound, I turn that up, turn up the amount. Beware if you have headphones on because it's going to sound a lot higher, but it's going to give me a bit crushed style sound like this. See that? And then what I'll do is I'll grab an EQ and I'll just temper that. So you can see all those extra high frequencies coming in from that effect. I cut them. And that kind of tempers it, right? And there you go. And I'm just using one piece of audio, literally one little wave file of a synth one-shot. Just recycling audio material, because that's what granular synthesis is all about, using audio to create new sound design. So another amazing secret to granular synthesis is how you can create these lush ambient soundscapes, textures, background elements using audio loops. So it's not even using a synthesizer, just audio. And I try to find a chord progression loop like this one, where the chords are mostly diatonic, because what's going to happen is I'm going to re-trigger them with Granulator, and that's going to basically create this like soundscape. And you can see it's sort of grabbing different parts, sometimes even just silence, and triggering it kind of all over the place. So you see how it's all over the place? Now this kind of looks like a bunch of random junk, right? But all I'm really doing is I'm messing with the grain size, file position, spray. I turn on the AM, which kind of randomizes the volume of each retrigger. And because I've picked a loop where there is a lot of silence or space between the chords, it creates less density. So this is what I like to work with. Then I grab the delays. This is where it gets really interesting. Check it out. So Echo Boy, I've got a space echo sound, good amount of feedback. And then I've got sort of this heavy feedback preset that's going to basically add a lot of diffusion. So a delay into a delay. I'm just pressing the C key on my MIDI keyboard. You can't see that, but all I'm doing is I'm just pressing C just to re-trigger it. And now let's just make it huge. So now we have all these repeats happening. And then the diffusion. So you can see it's still triggering things randomly, even silence in that loop. But you have this wonderful generative soundscape. You can record this into an audio track. You can pick out snippets of this, run this through reverbs. I haven't even touched a reverb. And it's this beautiful ambient texture. Again, using nothing but an audio loop of some piano and delays. That's it. Amazing.